Hi, my name is Ira. I'm an addict and a drug dealer too. But before you take out your mobile phones to call the police, please bear with me for a sec. The drug that I got hooked to, and of course would like to traffic to you today, comes at no cost. It's neither immoral nor illegal, on the contrary, and it doesn't even make you fat. Of course, it has a lot of side effects, such as inspiration, encouragement, activation, cheerfulness, inspiration. It's eye-opening, it's informative, and antidepressant. Do you still want to call the police? A couple of years ago, at the time when the news headlines were full of Fukushima and nuclear meltdown, of the financial crisis and bank bailouts, of climate change and much, much more doom and gloom stuff, I myself felt the disempowering and depressing effect of bad news. And I was really desperate for solutions to all these vast threats to our civilization. What I wanted to do was to turn around this obvious next step that I thought would happen if I carried on being desperate for solutions. And this next step is called learned helplessness. So I definitely didn't want to feel helpless, so I thought I had to do something, and I started digging, mainly on the internet. And actually, wherever I looked, I did find something. I found all these wonderful little and big projects that worked for solutions and that actually made me more cheerful and gave me a more positive outlook. And the more I started digging, or I kept digging, the more of these jigsaw pieces did I find. And they all represented tiny fractions of the world that I actually wanted to live in, which was quite amazing. So I kept finding more and more and more, and all of a sudden I had this, I don't know, this notion, this idea, where I thought, gee, it seems that actually all the solutions, all the answers to our most burning questions and pressing problems seem to be out there already. Of course, in an embryonic state, of course, with the dots not yet connected, but still, hey, I mean, that's quite something, you know. And it appeared to me that actually there is a whole parallel universe out there, a parallel universe of amazing solutions, a parallel universe of good news and of constructive approaches. And believe it or not, it goes largely unnoticed by the general public, and of course by mainstream media, who very much prefer to publish bad news. So I immediately knew that I had to pass this knowledge on as widely as possible. Now, this led to an organization that I founded 2 years ago, which is called the Mutmacherei, and for our international purposes, we call it Inspire for Change. And it crystallized in the Map of Solutions, which is a freely available online collection of more than 500 inspiring projects that try to make the world a better place. What I would love to do now is to take you on a high-speed, speed of light, star-hopping and star-gazing trip through this parallel universe, and show you some of the gems that I found on my search, show you some of the galaxies, of the planets, of the comets that this parallel universe of solutions and amazing good news contains. Now, when you look out the front window of our starship, you see a planet that's called Let's Do It World. The inhabitants of this planet have a weird way to spend their free time. What they do is they clean up whole countries in one afternoon. They are largely assisted by mobile technology, which is used to map illegal dump sites in these countries. And the people are assisted by the media, by celebrities, and vast amounts of the population are mobilized and motivated to take part in these cleaning actions. Now, can you believe it? So far, 96 countries have already taken part in these initiatives and have mobilized more than 7 million volunteers who took part in cleaning their countries. So whenever I watch the videos of these projects online, it really drives tears to my eyes because it's so touching and so wonderful. Okay, there was something going on. Good. There's a star from the art world, which I also find really, really amazing. It's a Brazilian artist who equipped himself with a tiny piece of cloth and a gas mask, entered a tunnel in Sao Paulo in Brazil, and drew thousands of skulls into the soot of the tunnel walls. The skulls should represent the dangers of pollution. Now, of course, it had to happen this way. The police came, stopped his activities, fire brigade came, and with their water hoses, they washed away his artwork and together with the pollution. But what I consider so touching and amazing about this project is how actually the criticism of this artist and his creativity turned into an art form, and how the destruction of his beautiful and ephemeral work turned in a complete success and in a very, very subtle cleansing. Believe it or not, there are whole galaxies revolving around plastic bottles, and I would like to dwell on this topic for a bit of time as an example to show you how some of these creative minds in the parallel universe work. If you take a bottle, an old plastic bottle, fill it with water, add a few spoonfuls of bleach, and put the whole thing into a hole of a roof. We're talking about very modest shacks with no electricity, no daylight, no windows. The room is immediately illuminated as if you used a 60-watt electric light bulb. And people can all of a sudden read and study and teach and work, or as you see here in this little picture, run a small commerce. Things which were barely possible for them before. Other people try to inform the ones in countries where there's no safe drinking water of a very, very simple solution. Just put the contaminated water into a bottle, expose it to very bright sunlight for at least 6 hours, and you immediately get sanitized and perfectly potable water. In our parts of the world, you might be more concerned about food and where you get your food from. You might use plastic bottles again, still the same topic, align them vertically, use some pumping and tubing and hydroponics, and all of a sudden you have your homegrown non-corporate herbs, salads, leaflets, and whatever. And on top of this, you can also get access to an online community of window farmers and exchange your experiences and get tips and tricks. And this sharing of knowledge does not only happen in the window farming community, but it's very typical of what I found out about the parallel universe. For one simple reason: in this parallel universe, cooperation is rated much, much higher than competition. British artist Rishi Sowa took the plastic bottle thing really to the extreme. He collected more than 250,000 of these bottles and built his own version of a paradise, which is a lush and green artificial island that floated under the Mexican sun. On it, he grew vegetables and fruit and had an eco-friendly home and maintained a nearly self-sustaining, beautiful lifestyle. US architect Mike Reynolds does not only use plastic bottles, but also glass bottles, rubber tires, as you can see in this picture, beer cans, and many, many other things that are readily available on the dump sites where he keeps looking. And what he builds is called Earthships. It is totally off-grid, passive solar homes that are completely self-sustaining. And what he also does is, of course, he uses natural materials as well, not only garbage. And what he also does is he teaches people how to build these Earthships, particularly people in disaster-stricken areas. I guess you can tell that energy, of course, is a very important topic in the parallel universe, particularly how to generate it from renewable resources, from renewable sources. This little shiny comet is one of my favorites. Flux Lab in their workshops teach you how to build your personal power plant. And of course, this little thing won't power your washing machine, not even your coffee machine. But if you're willing to train your hands and your forearm muscles a little, you can, of course, recharge your mobile phone and some other small electronic gear. Or you might want to call Bike It On. That's another initiative that pedal powers events such as movie screenings, jazz concerts, clubbings, and so forth by using electric bikes and human power. And this time you have the opportunity to exercise your lower limbs. Gravity Light is another project that is currently being funded on Indiegogo, an international crowdfunding platform. What the British designer duo who came up with this idea want to do is to replace the polluting and dangerous and highly expensive kerosene lamps that are used in these modest shacks by Gravity Light. You can see a ballast bag that is filled with stones or with sand. And through the pull of gravity, light is created. Don't ask me how, it seems like a miracle to me, but it works. What I consider amazing about this project is it has raised more than 6 times the funds people had actually asked for. And this shows to me that together with examples like 7 million people cleaning their countries, people are incredibly eager and willing and nearly desperate to do something good, to do something meaningful, to be part of the solution rather than the problem. Open source ecology is a project that is aiming even much higher. Martin Jakubowski runs a tech farm in Missouri where he's very busy building the global village construction set. That's basically all the machinery and equipment that is needed to found a village from scratch. He uses digital fabrication as well as low-tech approaches, puts all his plans online, open source for free, so that a huge community can improve the designs and bring their input. And what projects like this and many other aim at is the reappropriation of technology, of production processes. Now, what this means in simple language is we have to learn again how to build stuff, how to make it on our own, to regain more independence, because we've lost this know-how completely to large corporations. Backpack Farm is another star in this reskilling universe. This project is literally about a backpack that is filled with everything you need to run a small-scale, successful farming operation. On top, you get a training program that makes sure that the farmers can increase their harvests and improve their quality of life. Urban farmers don't only use plastic bottles, some of them do farming on pickup trucks and others use containers. What you cannot see in these pictures is what happens in the bottom of the container. There's a fish farm in it, and the metabolic residues of the fish are used as fertilizers for the plants that are cultivated on top. So I guess you can tell that I could go on for hours and hours because this parallel universe actually energizes me quite a lot, and that's why I love to call it my drug. But let me end on wrapping it all up for you. There are millions of people on this planet who do not tire to work on solutions, who do not stop tinkering, inventing, experimenting, making, building, designing, networking, to make the world a better place. Irrespective of the circumstances they're working in, they will always find ways of sustaining their projects and of making their dreams come true, which is so beautiful. They're using ingredients like creativity, sharing, respect, courage, caring, and many more nice things. They've basically come up with all the solutions that are needed. We just have to put the pieces together and create the framework to make change happen. My tiny contribution to this is that I firstly want to traffic the encouraging effect of good news via our workshops and presentations, and secondly show these people, these pioneers of the new world, the respect they actually deserve and very rarely get for whatever reason. We've recently started an initiative called We Pimp the World, where we showcase a new project every week, giving them support to the challenges they're currently facing. Now you might ask why I do all this. And the answer is very simple. It's because these people are my personal heroes. I'm not talking textbook superheroes because they're just ordinary people, but people with a very strong vision. They know exactly which kind of world they would like to live in. People with a lot of passion who follow their calling take it very seriously. Now, I suggest that we do one thing that is very natural and very healthy. And that is, let's focus on solutions and on good news instead of moaning about problems and feeling helpless. And let's feel inspired and encouraged by the good news and the hope and encouragement that these projects give us. And let's be proud of them. Let's support them and help them in every way we can. Thank you. Thank you.